Mic check, 1, 2. All right, let's go. Welcome YouTube to another episode on Money.tech. This morning got that cybersecurity new. So in light of trying to stay up to date with current events in the cybersecurity world, I'd like to start this series on cybersecurity news. So yeah, let's get into it. Some interesting stuff happening in the world right now in regards to cybersecurity. So in terms of that, I'm just trying to stay up to date. I'd like to share with you guys. For those of you who aren't really involved in the cybersecurity world, it's also good just to know what's happening, what's going on. So if we go over here to this platform called the Hacker News, it's one of the platforms that I use. So the Hacker News is one of the platforms. I used Wired Security. That's another great platform. Just Google stuff. You'll a lot of pop-ups. So those are good ways to kind of search for news. But I've been using Hacker News for about a couple months now. I've subscribed to their newsletters, so I get their newsletters through my email every morning. It's a good way just to stay up to date with what's happening in the world. But the two current events that I thought were interesting today that can relate to both people in the cyber world as well as those outside of cybersecurity or cyberspace is this phishing these phishing attacks that have been happening in the year 2023. So as we come to the close of the year 2023, I thought this current event was interesting just because it talks about a lot of the new or the popular trends in terms of phishing. So for those of you who don't know what phishing is like a social engineering technique where people try to get information from you, usually information they can use against you via ways of email. That's usually the popular mode. But in this article, it talks about 3 types of social engineering tactics or phishing tactics that were used and that were very popular throughout the year of 2023. So I thought it was interesting here. This term quishing, which sounds weird, but I've actually been a victim of it in a work setting when our team used it just to show that people are falling for these phishing attempts. But it's basically quishing is QR and phishing combined. So a lot of the times in these phishing terminologies will be combined. So things like spear phishing, that's usually when it's a targeted phishing attack where they're trying to get specific information from a specific person. Then there's like whaling is like when they try to attack someone like on the C-level suite, so like a CEO, a CISO, CFO. And then there's smishing's phishing via SMS short message system I think that was it. Anyways, text messages. So those are other ways that phishing is being used. But yeah, it's interesting to see here. Quishing is a popular weapon for cyber criminals the year 2023. And then CAPTCHA based attacks. So CAPTCHA, what that stands for, I just barely learned this in my Security Plus exam, but CAPTCHA is computer automated peer tiering test to tell humans and computers apart. So if you don't know, now you know what CAPTCHA stands for. But yeah, they're just using CAPTCHAs to basically mass credential harvesting forms on these fake websites, yada yada yada. But yeah, usually CAPTCHAs are used to prevent from bots. So like malicious actors or hackers will try to use bots, automated bots, to just go in and plug in stuff into forms and grab info. But here these CAPTCHAs are used to prevent it. But a new technique within the year 2023 was using this CAPTCHA page to mass credential harvesting forms on a lot of these fake websites. So that's that. And then steganography, just like it says here, is practice of hiding data inside pictures. So if you've ever seen like puzzles where there's like a picture over it and it's kind of embedded into it, kind of hides certain things. But yeah, and then I guess here in this article they're just showing this AnyRun software. It's a malware analysis sandbox. Alrighty, and then this next one was the Play Ransomware. article that I read up on. So this current news, ransomware's been a big issue this year or recently. So if you haven't heard, one of the big ransomware attacks that happened on earlier this year was the MGM attack. So I'll add a link to that one in the description box. But yeah, basically MGM got held up because of ransomware, and they actually use LinkedIn as the platform to social engineer a lot of these people. So if we go back to our previous current event with phishing, a lot of the ways that these hackers were able to get into MGM was through social media and just using open source intelligence to go do research on a lot of the employees working at MGM and just finding their way using different modes of vectors of attack. So yeah, but in this play ransomware, I guess just from what I've been reading up on it, it's this ransomware as a service now. So basically these hackers don't even have to craft the ransomware themselves. It just comes as a package, just like as we use software as a service. They got ransom as it's what they're calling ransomware as a service now. So this stuff's called play, I guess. The reason for it, just from reading up on it, was because it had the play extension. Let's see if we go into this. It talks a little bit more about what play is. Just from reading on it, it was just interesting that a lot of the targets were government entities in Latin America, and then just how they've used this ransomware. Basically comes with the .play extension, and then it encrypts files so that people can't encrypt their files or decrypt their files. And then the ransom note just contains one word. It says play on it, and then the hacker group's email address in terms of where they want to get their money. So yeah, this is just a little rundown on the current events happening with cybersecurity today. But yeah, if you enjoyed this, give us a like and subscribe, and tune in next time as we stay up to date with a lot of the cybersecurity new out there. But yeah, and in terms of why I call it cybersecurity new, I actually had a football player named Nunu, so we like Nunu, my boy Nunu. Shout out to you, bro. But yeah, this is cybersecurity new or current events in cybersecurity that are happening today. Yeah, much love, all fatu. Stay up to date on your cybersecurity news.